guys, sorry I'm late. We're gonna do a short cold open, so I couldn't get the mic to work. Don't ask me why. So I had to unplug everything, replug everything, reboot twice. Unreal. Luckily, I spent literally 20 minutes trying to make this work. No, it's hardware issues on my side. Um, so somebody needs to turn the computer off after the original art show. I'm not saying no. Okay, but when it sits all weekend, that's when I have problems. Anyway, so we'll be right back because we're already late. So hang out. All right, we're back. Oh my God. Yeah, it frustrates me. It wasn't recognizing the Yeti mic. I don't know why. So I just unplugged everything and replugged everything and rebooted twice. If I didn't get in here super early for the show, we would have had real problems. I still wouldn't have it worked out. Don't know why it suddenly recognized it. It was all plugged in, but all of a sudden now it is. So anyway, so that was the headaches I had. So how are you, Rob?
I'm doing great, man. Had a great weekend, had a great day, and hopefully about to have a great evening.
So I'm sorry. Say again.
Said I'm doing great, great all the way around, Rex. We're gonna have a great show. I can feel it.
I hope so. I'm already frazzled when things don't work. So
hey, man, be like water.
Be like water. So I saw the movie tonight is Hero by Zhang Yimou.
Yeah, absolutely. This is we're in Crew's choice. It's our homie Link's pick, and he picked Hero from 2002. It released in the States in 2004. I absolutely love and adore this movie. I first saw it. I didn't see it when it first released in the States, but I saw it like 3 or 4 years ago and just was amazed. I was mesmerized by this film. So when I saw this as his pick, I was so excited. Rewatching it last night, just as good as the last time. I love this film.
I have to admit, it is one of the most visually striking movies I've ever seen. And big name stars, Jet Li, Donnie Yen. I'm trying to think who else is in it.
Maggie Chung, is that her name? She's in there.
Yeah, Maggie Chung, who is a Hong Kong star who starred in a lot of films with Jackie Chan. Let's see.
You're right, though. It's a beautiful film.
I mean, visually, it is one of the best films I've ever seen. Is Michelle Yeoh in it? I don't think so.
I don't know. She's not in it.
No, I don't think so. Zhang Ziyi is in it, who was also in that movie. Another visually striking movie with, what was it called? Won an Academy Award.
You're not talking about Crouching Tiger, right?
Yes.
Okay, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah, she was in that. Maggie was.
There's another one kind of in this vein or around that time. House of Flying Daggers is another one I really like. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of Zhang Yimou changed the way we saw those films. You know, it was visually very striking. So, yeah, I saw that on Facebook. I was excited to see that.
Heck yeah, man. Figured you'd like that, dude. Dude, Jet Li, and he's good in that movie. Like, a lot of people think Jet Li's not a good actor. I'm like, well, watch his Hong Kong films. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's much better in those movies. Like, I was talking to somebody. I gave a buddy a list today, you know, Fist of Legend and Fearless, but in particular, Once Upon a Time in China, which I just think is really, really good.
So Jet Li is the one. That's all anybody needs to know.
So Jet Li, there is a rumor about Jet Li in Asia. I don't know if it's true or not, that he cannot read. He's illiterate. He
can't walk either.
Well,
From
not now.
What I've seen, he's got a pretty debilitating sort of
but this is a rumor
medical
that
situation.
was sitting around for ages when he first broke out as a movie star. The common rumor was he couldn't read.
Like he couldn't read in his native language?
Yeah, couldn't read.
Oh,
Chinese.
I was going to say if he couldn't read in English, well, I can't read in Chinese, English. So we're even. But hey, CJ, what's going on? Hey, everybody.
Again, I don't know if it's true or not, though. Bruce Lee Day at Oracle Park. Oh, so, cool.
I was talking to the art director on my way in.
Here we go. Big trouble.
We have a series of covers coming in based on the world of Jerry Anderson. Space 1999 is just the beginning.
So I was talking to Mariano. He is taking your idea up.
Yep. I feel bad because some poor sketch artist said, hey, look, John won't leave me alone, so you better figure out Space 1999 because he won't leave me alone. So whoever gets that job, sorry, man, you can blame me, not Mariano. The truth is, the Jerry Anderson IPs are hot again. They're so hot, he actually dropped his own ad. His son Jamie runs the stuff, and with him and his mom, and they're issuing new toys. There's new audio dramas. And I've suggested to the publisher more than once, the rumor out there is that they're looking to do graphic novels.
Okay.
So I said, I suggested to Nick, hey, maybe you can... the Ronda Rousey thing, I think we talked about this last week, right?
Yeah, I fell asleep. There was so much preamble, and by the time I woke up, it was over.
It was... I understand that they wanted to make money. I mean... Ronda Rousey might be thinking of returning to professional wrestling or something, so that might be why she's getting back in shape.
No, I hear she's done. Rousey's done. Gina's talking about taking the fights.
Gina Carano in her prime. Gina Carano was in her prime when women's MMA was in its infancy.
Like 44, right? Like that.
And the truth is, she was a talented athlete and kickboxer. Who just asked that? Preston, stay tuned about a Martin Landau sketch cover. I don't know exactly what Mariano's prepared to announce yet, but Martin Landau, Barbara Bain, stay tuned a little bit. There's going to be sketch covers. There's going to be Space 1999 inspired sketch covers. There'll be some sort of, eventually we're going to get Vampirella in a Moonbase Alpha costume.
Right.
There's a few things. This is going to go a little... Eddie, honestly, that's where Gina Carano belongs.
Yeah, I don't think
put her back in the Star Wars universe. She should not be in any sort of venture that is a shoot fight, which means real fight in the world of pro wrestling, where someone just takes her onto the ground. Because even in her prime, she did not have much ground game or ground defense.
Right.
And anybody who's watched MMA knew after a certain period of time, if you didn't know how to wrestle, if you didn't train a little judo or jujitsu or some sort of grappling art, you found yourself tapped out or choked out in some way. Not all the time, but the general rule of thumb is in the beginning, MMA was just all over the place. It was like legalized blood sport, and that's when I loved it the best. They tried to kind of legitimize it a little bit, rules, whatever. Still made MMA very entertaining, but you learned really quickly. I don't care how hard you can kick or punch. The fight starts on your feet. You have that opportunity to land a kick or a punch, and many times strikers do. More often than not, in a cage, they get run up against the cage and brought to the ground. And then even if they don't get submitted right away, you're taking all kinds of horrible shots in the ribs and the kidney.
Right.
Everyone used to think Randy Couture was such like a squeaky clean guy. Go back and watch his dirty boxing in fights. People would cheer. He was an Olympic alternate. He'd take someone down, and it was great. And then the person would get back up, and then they would be up against the cage. And you would be getting a bunch of these kind of rabbit punches and like elbows in the side of the face. And even if you didn't win the fight, you would look at the opponent, and you would think the opponent lost the fight. Side of their face, the eye is shut, lip is bleeding, because literally all he did was grind up against you for 15 minutes or more.
So I think it was a good thing, not because of necessarily the fights.
Gina did catch a shiner. I'm pretty sure that Disney's like, not in the face, not in the face, not in the face.
So easy. So everyone knows I was out sick on Friday, so the label was probably run easy, but didn't get out the door. And we've been having some problems with UPS. It goes out, and they don't scan it for some reason, and it just shows up at your house. So email me and Amy, and we'll take a look, okay, what the situation is. But I remember somebody packing it, so it's just a matter of whether it was picked up.
UPS comes and picks it up here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm a little bit familiar with UPS. A buddy of mine owns a UPS store in Mount Laurel. As far as I know, they're supposed to scan it when they pick it up.
They're supposed to, but it doesn't always happen.
I'm trying to be a jerk here, but that's a great way to say, hey, look, I need to make sure these things get scanned.
Yeah, but the guy who picks up is in such a rush.
Yeah, I know.
So they wait until it gets back to the hub. So anyway, just email me and Amy. We'll look into it tomorrow. No problem. But so I thought the whole thing was a good thing, not because I'm a Jake Paul fan, not because I'm an MVP Promotions fan. It's because Dana White has had a monopoly on this sport since day one. And we all know he doesn't pay his fighters anything. Okay? So
if you're a kid working in a car wash, he's paying you a lot of money.
Yeah.
If you are looking at what the UFC is made and worth, and TKO and contracts with Paramount or whoever, you are getting less than pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's a good thing that the UFC finally has competition, okay, in the form of MVP. And it was a huge event. And obviously Dana White is threatened because he decided on the same night to make the announcement about Conor McGregor coming back.
I saw that. Yeah.
Conor McGregor is a character. The man Conor McGregor, if that's even really his name, is a talented athlete, sportsman, whatever they call it in the UK. He's light on his feet. He has good reflexes.
He was an okay actor on Roadhouse.
He did in his prime. That guy's future is in Andy Sedaris level action movies and professional wrestling and other fictional sort of things.
Right. I was about to say, dude, he'd be a great heel in professional wrestling. Yes. Dude. He'd get so much heat from the crowd too, just because he's got that baked in hate like Logan Paul does, you know? Like so many people don't like the guy. Like people that don't know anything about mixed martial arts know who he is and they hate him.
They hate him. I would love to see this guy be part of a Sheamus heel turn and Conor McGregor is his manager wearing the peaky cap.
Bruh.
And going old school where he uses the peaky cap in someone's eyes or something to get a win for Sheamus. That seems to me like a great last 6 months of the year program to run.
That'd be cool, man. I'd check that out for sure.
I can see why he's doing it because obviously the Gina Ronda fight created a lot of PR. Okay,
you know, here's something, man. Like with all these fights that get big and promoted, like the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul thing, and this person and these two celebrities, like everybody's always disappointed ultimately in these, right? Like I've seen so many people because they're not MMA fans, like friends of mine that don't watch it, right, on the regular. They all watch this because of the names of who was doing it, right? But anybody who knows this stuff knew that this was going to be a quick fight. You know?
Oh, yeah. I don't think anybody who knew even the littlest bit about mixed martial arts thought this would go past the first round.
Gina fights did.
Did they?
Gina Carano. No, I mean particularly this Gina Carano.
The undercard fights
Ronda
didn't
Rousey
go.
fight.
Wait, one did. One went.
I think
to
only
second round.
one went beyond the first round, from what I heard.
Was that-
I didn't watch
was
it, but
Fight that went
I
more
think
than one
so.
round.
I think so.
I think it was Diaz and Mike. What's his name? 1-2 second
Yeah,
round.
I think
But
so. I feel like that was the one.
Ronda essentially has her move. She has Olympic level judo skill. If she trains and works, even at her age, she could be competitive in MMA. I don't know how well she would do.
I heard she wants to have babies, more babies.
Well, that's the thing.
She's not.
People forget. I think she's already had children. For someone her age that's had children to cut 45 or 50 pounds to make weight, Gina Carano cut 100 pounds from this began inkling to when she got on the scale. She went from, according to her people, at her biggest, she was 240 pounds, and she made 141.9 on the scale. So that's 99 point something pounds she lost, right? First of all, that can't be good for you.
No, can't.
And second of all,
Gina lost 100 on her.
well, that's what I'm saying. It's just, and then Ronda wants to have more children, which is fine, man. That, it's her life. She's married to like a retired MMA fighter, from what I understand. They live out in Hawaii, all happy days and all that. It just doesn't. Yeah, Jay, you're bringing up Shane Carwin. Shane Carwin was like the greatest heavyweight fighter that never was. He was a massive man, had wrestling talent, weightlifter, looked like a superhero, had giant hands and all this other stuff. He almost beat Brock Lesnar. He got really close. And then because of the way he was, he gassed out. And then Lesnar, who was more of an athlete than he was. The truth about Shane Carwin in final analysis, he was more show than go. And Lesnar, for all the people who fought him, unfortunately, was more go than show. Before Lesnar started having medical issues and age catching up to him, there was no one. He had to cut to be the 265. When MMA was in its prime, very few people had to cut below like the 265. Lesnar's walk-around weight was 300 pounds. He would make 265 for like 8 minutes, get off the scale. By the time he came down to the cage the next day, he was easily 280, 285.
So
he throttled you.
my problem with Dana White, I don't like him. Okay? He locks these fighters into an exclusive contract. They can't move around. They can't fight other sanctions.
Jay, so that's a great analogy, by the way.
Keeping all the business, all the competitors down. And I think that I don't like Jake Paul either, but I feel like he's the only one, and MVP Promotions are not the only one that can stand toe-to-toe with him. Because Dana does a lot of promotion, but so does Jake Paul. So I'd like to see some competition come out.
The difference is Dana is playing with house money. The Pauls are playing with their money. I would love to see the Pauls partner up with, it's called One Championship Fighting. Right. It's on Amazon right now.
They may.
Globally, they are massive. In this country, it's all about the UFC. But in the Asian world, One Championship Wrestling is huge. They get more views than any UFC pay-per-view has ever gotten in a regular fight. I would love to see that. I would love to see MVP partner with One, let One do their thing, and then do featured MVP fights.
All right, so I think we do need to take a break.
We have to go to a break, right?
Yeah, so let's go to our first break now, Jay. And when we come back, we'll do the giveaway, or we'll show the giveaway, rather. All right, so hang on. We'll be right back.
Whoa. Whoa. Did you miss it? Yeah, they can go by pretty fast. Let's slow down the footage.
Welcome. It's time to skim some comics. Miles Morales Spider-Man, I will just tell you that Miles is very important in his role as a vampire. So
it's fine. If you like Hercules, read it. If you don't like it, don't worry about it. It's fine.
The art is still stunning. There's a panel, little spoiler, there's a panel in this where Chitauri first hits Lion-O, and he is the best "did she really just hit me" face I've ever seen put in a comic book.
Wow, live reviews of new comic books so you can be ready for New Comic Book Day. What is this? Oh, I see. It's Minute to Skim It. Part of the experience. FOC, a comic industry term for the final day a new comic can be ordered by a local comic shop. So, what does that mean to you? Well, it's your last chance to order a new comic book from your local comic shop. Order up! The FOC show will go over every book that's about to be cut off every Friday afternoon.
I'm going to highlight some of the stuff that I think is really worth paying attention to,
so that you can put in an order at your LCS for as many copies or as many variant covers as you want.
Sometimes the store needs to know to up their orders.
Never miss out on a popular comic again. Order up, part of the experience.
Download our app on Google Play and the App Store. It's so simple, even my mommy can use it. In a world where you hit like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, that'd be really great, thanks.
All right, we're back. All right, the giveaway tonight is Batman number 51, signed by Tom King. Hashtag, as always, EXP Monday, all lowercase.
Has that guy done anything in comics other than this?
You tell me. All right, so we won't be here next Monday because of the holiday.
Next Monday is Memorial Day. Everybody have a happy Memorial Day.
Yeah, so just make sure everyone knows. What are you doing, Robbie, for Memorial Day?
We're doing a PCP movie night, man.
There you go.
And then before that, I'll be working because it'll be, FOC and all that.
So, to be honest, I don't like Dana White because of the way he's trying to manipulate the entire industry in his favor, which I understand why, but now we need some competition for him. Okay, and I agree with what John's saying. If Jake Paul MVP Promotions can somehow link up with somebody else who has more cash in the pocket, it might help them.
From what I understand, One Championship Wrestling is owned by like a Chinese Canadian tech billionaire or something. So the guy has deep pockets. He doesn't, he's not struggling. The problem with a lot of Dana White's competition in the past is they just didn't have the money to compete. At one point, the UFC was owned by a company that owns casinos,
right?
And were suspected of other streams of income. Nothing was ever proven, but there was sort of like a Vegas old boy mentality. Once they started selling the company here, there, Dana White really just became. Dana White, as the head of the UFC, has the same credibility to me now as when the WWE announces a new president. Yeah, sure, you're the president. Okay. You're an employee being asked to play a role, and we're paying you very well for it. Dana White stopped having the relevance in MMA he had some years ago. Now it's all TKO, and I understand that TKO is sort of unraveling a little bit, and Paramount is maybe thinking of trying to pry UFC away from TKO. I don't know what's going on there, but I just know that the time is right for someone else to put together a competitive option.
Nice to see. Kind of like boxing, WBA, WBC.
So I don't really follow MMA and all that kind of stuff. But so is it like there's obviously the name recognition of UFC and the history of it and the length and
In
but
this country,
do they have the more prominent fighters like and also was this a bigger deal because of that event with Ronda and Gina and also because it's on Netflix like right that was a big
because
deal.
it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Is a big part
So
of
that's
it.
how you do it. You get something like Netflix, like something that most people have, right?
Well, this is why I like One Championship because they're partnered with Amazon Prime, and there's a lot of people who have Amazon Prime.
Because of restrictions of contract, he had to get Ronda and Gina because they were both out of it. And they were big enough names, I think, to pull in the audience.
So fighters for the UFC, they're signed exclusively to the UFC, is what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah.
The funny thing is they have they have the worst of both worlds. They're sort of recognized as independent contractors.
Yes.
Which is sort of the way
That's
the
the way
the WWE has always worked. No, you're independent contractors, but you absolutely cannot do anything else. Even if you get a role on TV or something, you have to have our explicit approval. To me, that's absolutely the worst of both worlds. However, there's no other option.
Yeah, didn't Gina go to Strikeforce?
Strikeforce was very good. Probably you can make the argument. My favorite MMA promotion is not the UFC. My favorite MMA promotion was Pride in Japan. They had different rules. It was a different vibe. But you watch some Pride fights, and there is a different energy. The fighters go for the kill because they want to be in and out of there. They don't care about ratings. Now, yes, there are people who will say that the Japanese mafia control Pride. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. As a customer, I do business regularly with people that are funding, data centers and all this other stuff.
Right.
I'm an Amazon Prime subscriber. Meanwhile, there's Jeff Bezos, closing down the city of Venice because his wife wants to get married there. If you have to be real picky who you want to do business with, but I would much rather watch a Pride fight, even from 20 years ago, on YouTube or whatever. And I guess the UFC or TKO owns the rights to all the Pride footage. I've been told some of it's been scrubbed. Some of the more horrible things have been scrubbed. I think now is the perfect time for someone else. I would absolutely tag MVP Promotions, both Jake and Logan Paul.
Right.
Logan Paul's a little bit tricky because he's assigned with the WWE and they're part of TKO, so that might be a little bit of.
Did you see that Jake Paul is banned from WWE events because he's a competitor to TKO? Yeah.
Yeah, unknown. The Japanese mafia is the Yakuza, and yes, there was constantly people said the Yakuza was in charge of Pride, like the face behind the face. The truth of the matter is, there were people in this country from like the late 1940s until the mid 1960s that claimed the Italian mafia in this country controlled boxing.
Right.
To their dying day, there will be people who will say Rocky Marciano was a character. He didn't win all those fights.
Hey, man, we've all read Daredevil, man. We know how it goes down.
I was going to say, so there's a lot of there. So, at the end of the day, I'm going to enjoy Raiders of the Lost Ark, even though I know a Rock really isn't chasing Harrison Ford across the town. You know what I mean? So you have to sort of, kind of pick your battles. Old Boss Rutan fights are amazing. And the old videos where Boss Rutan would teach people how to fight, oh my God. Like, it was less technique driven and less he would tell you grab them by the head, and just throw their head against the desk. They were so entertaining. Now, sure, for Boss Rutan, it worked. He was a big athletic dude. Apparently, he grew up in very rough and tumble sort of part of Holland.
Right.
So he sort of, he could get away with that stuff. There were many people that tried his techniques and they got put to sleep in the ring or the cage.
All right. So if you joined us late, the giveaway tonight is Batman number 51, signed by Tom King. And let's get to a couple of books before we have to go to the next break.
Let me throw this out real quick.
Everybody hit the thumbs up. I got a birthday gift for Marcus, which was very generous.
Oh, let's see.
He sent me this original art by Alan Davis.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
I know.
That's really nice.
This is the original art, right, Marcus?
Oh, nice.
I know, right? I mean, he wouldn't send me just a poster, right? He would send me the original. Then I got other... I think these are posters, though.
It's all art.
It's all art. Even this. Must be John Watson who painted that.
I'm somewhat skeptical of Zero Sugar and tiramisu, but please enjoy those, sir.
And he's teasing me because I haven't been able to bid on much lately. Xerox copy. He gave me a paddle. Tiramisu, as John just said.
Those are almonds, though, right? So that's
Marcus. And I have no idea who Dan the Man Tancredi is.
I don't either. John, maybe?
I don't know, but I'm going to find out right now. I feel like it's a character.
Everybody hit the thumbs up, please. And Friday, Matt, Pop Culture, Kennedy, Mr. Kennedy.
Yay, I love that guy.
Oh, he's doing the original art show, right?
Yeah.
That's right. I saw that.
So
that is
I was
Friday,
supposed to be
7
Friday
p.m.
at
Eastern.
7. So it should start on time. I was supposed to be at a licensing show, but with my knee, I just couldn't do it.
So still bothering you?
Yeah.
You couldn't see anyone?
I tried, and then the ER was packed, so I was like,
I told you it would be.
yeah. So I picked up BioFreeze and other stuff and tried
Okay.
that.
All right. So let's get. All right. So
Thank you, Marcus.
do you hear that, Marcus? That's all that was in there? I don't know. That's what he showed us. So I'm not sure. All right. So we had Dynamite 10-pack reader set, 10 random Dynamite titles, $3.99 cover price or higher. And as always, we have $5.
You know, we haven't been selling as many of these as we used to. Don't forget, y'all, you can buy these. You can take them to your next doctor's appointment, leave them in the waiting room, leave them in those little free libraries in front of people's houses in the neighborhoods. Just spread them around, get people to read comics, you know?
As someone
There you go.
who's done this before, there were a couple times, remember when you were like, take some of these out of here or whatever? I dropped them off at the library.
Right.
They have them in like the young person's reading area. I still see them there. That must have been more than a year ago. I took a bunch of stuff.
There you
And
go.
they're still, I see the kids, they sit down, they come in, they put their book bag down, and they're reading comics. And
It's a good thing.
for $5, it's a great feeling.
I owe you a comic that I did not pull yet. So
Send me an email.
I will. All right. So then we have the DF mystery box. 2 CGC 9.8s, 2 metal covers, or one of each. Up to you. So you either get two slabs, or you can get 2 metals, or you can get one of each. Up to you.
See, with everybody watching their pennies these days, these things should be selling more, actually. Because these are like great values. You know what I mean? This is a way to kind of bulk out your sort of...
Right. All right. Also included, you get 1 virgin, 1 signed, 1 exclusive, and 10 back issues. $200 retail value guaranteed. Usually sell them for $85. Tonight, I'll do them for $75.
Oh!
That's a great deal. You can buy this. Leave them for kids at the hospital if you want to.
No, don't leave these for kids at the hospital. Slow down.
Lead to 10 back issues, but
The back issues might not
maybe
be
you want to
bad,
hold
but
on the slabs and the metals.
there's
I
no
know,
little
just
kid
my
that needs
opinion.
metal covers more than I do. That's sort of... That's stretching a little bit.
All right, let's do shout outs real quick before I have to
Could
go
you
to the
imagine,
second-
John, you go to the library and you see some kid trying to get into a slab comic? They can't figure it out.
Mom, break this
Smashing
open.
on
The
the
mom
table.
cracks it open. No!
All right.
See, I truly
Shout
don't,
outs.
in all fairness to me, but, you know, I try to make do.
All right, so Marcus in the house first. Easy Go Lucky. CJ, Marvel fan. What's going on, buddy?
See Jeffrey in the chat. Corey, I will be the first to admit, we have a CHOP, Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. We have a few auxiliary offices here in South Jersey.
Alberto, what's going on, bud?
My wife has to go in and drop off comics. That's too much for me. I'm happy to share my own collection or whatever, but no, I will wait in the car while my wife runs in there. There is no way, shape, or form. Money, I can handle stuff, giving away, seeing sick kids. No, I'm not built like that. And I give tremendous respect to the people who are, especially like doctors, nurses, hospital workers. I would see that.
Asbill.
I'd see that once and I'd be pumping gas the next day.
All right. Let's see. Who else? Let's see. I said hi to Mike.
Yeah. Easy. I said I can't. My friend is a surgeon, and I helped him study. For exams and stuff like that. I visit him at work, not at all. It's just way too much, man. The stories are terrible. And I'll tell you right now, if I have the money, hit me up, Christmas time, whatever. I'm happy to donate, but and it's not that I think my time is so super important. I can't do that. It's gotten to the point now where I don't even really like to go into the vet.
John Coe, what's going on, bud?
I'm fine. I'm right here.
Let's see. Preston, of course.
Thanks, Steve.
Weird Dopes. Is that Ed Weird? I think it was.
Weird Dopes is like a sizzling show on YouTube.
Yeah, it's Ed Weird, right?
I think it's Ed Weird. And
all right, let's see. I think I got everyone. I'm not sure.
Tom loves power because of the data center's power is 58 monitors. It looks like 1980s Wall Street in Tom's house. It's just giant theater-sized screens.
So let's see.
Yeah, it's Eddie and Mr. Note.
Unknown, what's going on?
I do want to mention this real quick.
Go ahead.
Jay
what's happening?
Jay posted something on Facebook today, which I thought was very, very cool.
Space Case, what's happening?
And Jay, if you're going to talk a little bit about this later, I don't want to kind of step on it a little bit, but Jay posted something about he's looking for suggestions for 20 books, comic books, that he hasn't read. And I just think that's kind of like a cool, fascinating thing. Like, what haven't you read? And, what do you recommend? I gave Jay a recommendation, which I guess he had not heard of before. So that was cool. You know what I mean? It was sort of...
Corey, what's happening, buddy?
And chances are that, with this chat, with the people in this chat, our age group, chances are we've read a lot of stuff, man. You know what I mean? People
TJ,
who
what's happening?
Own companies, their own comic shows, they work in comic book stores or whatever. Chances are you've seen a lot of stuff and you've had a lot of chances to catch up on a lot of stuff. But that being said, I think it's really cool. Like 20 books that you probably should read, but you haven't. So I was glad I was able to kind of recommend something to Jay today that, he'd take a look at. It might not be his thing. It might not be, he might get 20 better suggestions, and that's cool too. But
all right, so we're going to take our second break. When we come back, we're going to go over Ben 10, the EXP exclusive. Still have a few. And then new sketch covers of the week. So hold on, and we'll be right back.
Symphonic Verses, Nocturne's Romance. A song of romanticized darkness, dreaming death by sleep.
Did you know that you're invited to an art gala? No, I mean the fun kind. It's Sketch Up with Mog and Mel.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks again for joining us.
Featured guests talk about their new projects.
So it takes place in this fantasy world where the world is kind of lost its stories.
And life as an artist.
The hope was that you could make some amount of money when you exited art school.
While the ever-changing artist panel draws new works live in front of your eyes.
Oh, I like that. Working on the
And
shadow.
they're sexy. Sex, dude.
You still got a little bit of time.
Ooh, Phil, that's dope, dude.
Sketch Up with Mog and Mel. Thursday nights. Part of the experience.
We know you probably get a lot of emails, but could you please make sure to sign up for our mailing list? We don't send a lot of emails, and we try not to bother you. We just want to give you the best information about all the cool stuff that's going on around here. Sign up on our website, theexplive.com. Twitch, it's not just what happens when you have too many energy drinks anymore. Check out our content over there, too.
How to use a cell phone.
We're back. All right, here we go.
Robbie, real quick question. We're kind of talking about Jupiter's Legacy.
Yeah.
Netflix signed an agreement at one point with Mark Millar?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like a first look kind of deal, where anything new, they got the first opportunity to adapt it, and then they took everything like that, and so they just started working on different properties. I think that deal has ended.
I was going to say, I think the deal expired before.
I was very disappointed when it only ran one season.
Well, there were a lot of comments about it was expensive. They didn't get the views they wanted.
And none, I don't think any. Yeah, none of those shows. Did they do any other shows? I know that they were, like, they couldn't do anything with like Kick-Ass, and they couldn't do anything with the Kingsman, aka Secret Service, because those are already
one of the things that they had on their list to look at. Which
they did Super Crooks. That's right.
Was Starlight. Not Starlighter from The Boys. I think it was called Starlight.
Starlight's good, dude.
Millar's take on it's very Flash Gordon-esque. I'll put it that way.
Flash Gordon, little Adam Strange.
A little Adam Strange is in there. It's very much the Man from Earth in space story. It's been told a bunch of times. But being Mark Millar, he just told it a little bit better. And especially if you read it and you were an older reader, you really sort of kind of connected with the character when you're older. And then when you see the character when he's younger, like the younger characters are like, oh, this is cool. This is like an Adam Strange character or whatever. But when you see him fumbling to learn to use a cell phone, you're like, yeah, I get it, man.
All right, so let's bring back the Ben 10 #1, the EXP exclusive cover. First one is cover A, and we have that for 20. And Jay, why don't you jump in here?
Yeah.
So this is the first exclusive from the EXP. They partnered together with artist Jay Fosgitt. I'm a big Jay Fosgitt fan, so this was especially cool. This one right here, the cover A, was limited to 500 copies. And again, Dynamite is already going to second print on this book, folks. And I'm going to tell you, I got a chance to read it. It's really good. And I've never watched it. I know the premise, but I've watched it. So this is honestly a good book. So if you're somebody who wants a first print, this might be your last opportunity to get one without having to go to the aftermarket. So putting that out there.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jay.
Next one we got is the cover B version. This was limited to 250 copies for $25. Then we have the line art. This one was limited to 150 copies. And this one's for $30. Hey Triple B and KG. And then we had the line art version. This was limited to 100 copies. And this one was for $35. So if you got a Ben 10 fan in your life, or if you're a Jay Fosgitt fan, this is definitely one to buy, give as a gift.
The line art version is limited to how many?
100 copies.
100. And then, of course,
You get
if you
all
want,
four. Go ahead,
Yep.
Jay.
there you go. You want all four? We got a whole bundle right there.
Get all four for $99.99.
See, that's sort of, if I was a Ben 10 fan, I'd be like, don't bother me with this or that. Just tell me how much you want for all
We're
four.
definitely going second.
Here's my debit card number.
All right, so probably last chance, because I don't know who else is selling it on the XP. So I don't know how many we're going to have, but they're moving. So if you want your Ben 10 first print, now's the time. All right, so
You know what's going to happen? I really want people to listen to this, because you know what's going to happen?
What?
This is going to pop up somewhere, and someone in the chat's going to say, hey, Jay, do we have any more? Or, hey, Rex, do we have any more? And the answer is going to be, there isn't any more. And then they're going to wind up going
print.
somewhere else, and they're going to be paying way more
Second print.
than $25, $35 or whatever.
All right, so the sketch covers of the night. Green Lantern number 25 with Green Lantern cover sketch by Ian Wallace. This is a nice one. I really like this one.
Everybody knows pretty soon all the green stuff, all the Green Lantern stuff is going to spike, right?
Yeah.
They have a newer preview for Lanterns, which looks. Kyle Chandler was probably my second choice to play Hal Jordan, so this makes me super, super, super.
You liked that trailer today?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've not seen it yet.
I was not a fan of that trailer. I was like, I wasn't a big fan of the first teaser, and I saw this one. Me and my homies were watching it, and we were just like, it feels like they're trying to make it not Green Lantern for some reason, man. Like, I don't know, man. And like, Green Lantern has the potential to be something for a quadrant, right? Like something that's a little bit for everybody. They're ostracizing some of their younger audience out just because of its rating. And I don't understand, like, I mean, Green Lantern to me is like colorful space operatic type cool stuff. And this is people running around being mean to each other and brown. They're brown. I don't understand.
You know what this slightly reminds me of? I mean, you're 100% right. I'm not going to say that, but I'll tell you what it's reminding me of is Absolute Green Lantern. Or I'm sorry, not Absolute Green Lantern. What was it?
Okay, I can feel that.
Earth One Green Lantern?
Yeah,
Maybe
Earth One. Yeah, okay.
Thank you. It wasn't Absolute, but Earth One Green Lantern, which I thought was great because it was a different take.
Well, see, like, yeah, and I get what Jay, I get it. It's True Detective, DC style. That's what they said. It's Damon Lindelof. I really like him. It's Tom King. He's hit or miss sometimes, especially lately. But I just feel like, imagine if they were like, we're doing Superman as if it's like a Stanley Kubrick, like hard sci-fi type thing. That could be interesting.
Orange or something.
But one of the things that made Superman work to me and Fantastic Four was that they finally were embracing the comic book nature again. I think that's what we're wanting. That's what I want to see with Green Lantern, man. And I don't like, and it completely clashes with the tone of Superman. I'm not saying that the tones of the movies have to be the same, but like Guy Gardner is going to be in this. How does that Guy Gardner fit into this? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
They're also trying to introduce a dynamic with Jon Stewart. And clearly this is being set up for Jon Stewart to be the primary character, right? I guess the audience they're trying to appeal to, because like Robbie said, the younger kids this is just the primary story from what I've read from different creators of this show, the primary story here is fear of being forgotten, like ageism, fear of being pushed out. And there's this push-pull dynamic where we're supposed to believe that Jon Stewart is a better Green Lantern than Hal Jordan. The problem here is that that's just never the case,
right?
Ever. I like Jon Stewart.
But one thing, just like with the success of Ben 10, the kids that grew up with Ben 10, they grew up with that Justice League cartoon, and Jon Stewart was their Green Lantern. So there's more people know who Jon Stewart is now than I
Probably.
think ever before. So
I think they're playing a little bit. I think they're playing a little bit of a dangerous game. I admit, I very much wanted to see a different tone. I wanted to see like and I understand Kyle Chandler is older now. My first choice to be Green Lantern would be Hal Jordan was John Hamm. He's older as well. If you're going to do the characters in older story, Hal Jordan is older. That's fine. The idea that he's somehow replacing Hal Jordan just because Jordan's old, I think that's going to be hard. That's going to be a hard sell. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing. But yeah, the number one thing is by now everybody knows I'm a big fan of the color green. And that seems to be the least featured color in the palette of this show based on what we've seen from images and the 2 trailers.
I haven't seen a trailer.
Robbie hit the nail on the head. It's very brown. Guys wearing dusty leather clothes and this sort of thing. Maybe they're just showing us that and there'll be a little bit of a swerve.
Right.
Somebody put in the chat, which I thought was kind of accurate. At some point, Hal dies, and Jon Stewart gets the ring and has to solve the murder. I think this is not going to be a space-based show, and I think that's why it's sort of weird.
A series?
Yeah, it's going to be a series, and I don't understand how you do Green Lantern and either have it not be space-based or otherwise superpowered based. Because Green Lantern kind of rolls with Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, people with ludicrous levels of power.
And then on the other hand, Mark is talking about hard traveling heroes. That's a very celebrated Green Lantern, Green Arrow. It's great stuff. And also with the way Superman and then Supergirl are very spacey and has been compared to Guardians of the Galaxy, maybe, I don't know. We'll see. They could also be hiding a lot of like stuff because they're trying to sell it to like the HBO audience.
See,
right?
I'm kind of wondering about that too. I'm wondering if these trailers have been crafted to satisfy what HBO is looking for. And when we get into episode 2 or 3 of this thing, it'll be different. The reason I'm not sure that's the case, because Peacekeeper was Peacekeeper from the jump. I think we got 5 minutes of pseudo exposition of episode 1 on Peacekeeper. And ever since then, it's just been, the boys level outrageous type stuff.
Right.
The truth is, I'm really glad that Kyle Chandler is getting a spot at Hal Jordan. I wanted him to be Hal Jordan for a long time. I don't know a lot about the actor who's playing Jon Stewart, but if they wanted to tell a story which is a little bit more quote unquote grim and gritty, this should be Guy Gardner, Green Lantern.
All right, so I'm going to make all sketch covers 45 tonight.
Oh!
Because
including this Green Lantern one?
Yep, including Green Lantern one.
If this is supposed to be Hal Jordan, send this back to Ian and tell him he needs to add gray to the temples. because that's not the right costume for a young Hal Jordan.
All right, here we go.
No, never mind. I'll discuss it with the art director. You're too busy.
All right, so A&X with Giant Man cover sketch by Joe Correa, Joe Del Beato, and Mariano Nicieza.
I love this a lot. Oh, yeah, there's no doubt. I don't know what else Aaron Pierre has been in, but that guy very much looks like Jon Stewart. He very much looks like the Jon Stewart from the Justice League cartoon. Unfortunately, I don't think, maybe at the end.
Space Case, is that a claim or are you answering a question?
General Laterne? Maybe he's saying he wants the Green Lantern book.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's why I'm asking.
I think maybe we might get a nice thing where Aaron Pierre gets the ring. Either Jordan dies or Jordan realizes, you know what, I've gone down the road long enough. Here, kid, here's the ring. Knock yourself out.
Got it, Space Case.
And maybe when he puts the ring on, we'll get the big explosion of green, we'll get the oath, and we'll get a costume that looks like a superhero costume. Hopefully the one that he wears in the Justice League cartoon.
Right.
And we'll get to that point or whatever.
All right, next up we got New Gods #1 with Orion versus Frankenstein cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. MSRP of $149.99, and we have this one for $45 as well.
This is sort of a little bit weird versus Frankenstein. I like this, but I didn't foresee this coming.
So you'll need to talk to the art director about that.
Well, the art director and I, actually at this point now, we're at 3 things. We're going to have lunch, which he was delighted about. He's like, you'll pick the lunch place? I said, yep.
God, don't let him. Trust me, don't. All right.
We'll be eating a full food cart tomorrow.
All right. Then we had Transformers #1 with Optimus Prime cover sketch by Robbie Pelletier.
Oh, this is nice. I like
MSRP of $149.99, and we have this one for $45.
This one's absolutely fantastic, man. 100%. You know, this year's the 40th anniversary of the Transformers 86 animated movie, which ruined many people's childhoods when they killed Optimus Prime in the first 15 minutes. I remember watching it just being like, no way.
I'm hoping there's a black site prison where the creators of that movie are still languishing, begging to be released. They're all old people now. And
all right, next up we got Civil War II #1 with Black Bolt cover sketch by Tony Scott. This one is smoking good.
Yeah, this wow.
That's great.
And look, you're going to sell this for $45?
I am.
Yeah, then Nick is going to be back in here because you're giving this stuff away, man.
He might be busy. MSRP of $149.99, and we have this one for $45 as well. Then Project Superpowers Fractured States #1 with Black Terror. Cover sketch by Will Torres and Joconda Hernandez. MSRP of $149.99, and we have this one for $45 as well.
To be clear, you know who suggested a Project Superpowers sketch cover?
Let me guess. You?
Yes. There will probably be at least one more. And because of my incessant nagging, it will probably be Captain Future.
All right. And then I had to bring this back. DCKO Boss Battle #1 with Homelander cover sketch by Will Torres and Joconda Hernandez. MSRP of $149.99, and we have this one for $45 as well. Because it's the boys. And so I had to bring this one back from last Wednesday, I think. All right, so let's do a quick Rex cap.
I will be seeing this a day early.
What's that?
May 20th is the episode that drops on Prime.
Oh, that's right.
Select theaters are having it on May 19th. And I'm going to see it on May 19th in King of Prussia, PA.
Shocker. Didn't see that happening.
Well, this past weekend while I was down the shore, 5 or 6 of my friends had seen various things of the boys. Some of them had read the boys.
Right.
And I said, boys, sit down. We're going to watch this from the beginning. And we just hung out in the rental unit. And as soon as my wife heard we were watching the boys,
she laughed.
I will be down. The dog and I will be in the garden this weekend, which, somehow I managed to struggle through.
Oh, Lord. What's happening, bud? All right. So the giveaway tonight was Batman #51 signed by Tom King.
Nice.
Hashtag EXP Monday, all lowercase.
I got to tell you, at my age now, waiting online for a creator signature, maybe at a small con with a bunch of people, that's fine. But sitting at like C2E2 in like the 3 different corridors while you're waiting online to get someone's probably not. At this point, thankfully, I actually reach out to the creators and say, hey, I'm going to send you stuff to sign. Sign it whatever you want.
All right. Then we have Dynamite 10-pack reader set. 10 random Dynamite titles. $3.99 cover price or higher. And as always, we have for $5 for all 10. Dan Art, what's up, bud? Gift mystery box. 2 CGC 9.8s or 2 metal covers or one of each. Up to you. 1 virgin, 1 signed, 1 exclusive, and 10 back issues. $200 retail value guaranteed. Normally we have for $85. Tonight I'm selling it for $75. Then of course we have the Ben 10 EXP exclusive covers. Probably your last chance at a first print for Ben 10 because we are already moving to second printing.
Yeah.
It's sold so well. So here you go. Ben 10 #1, cover A. Limited to only 500, and we have this one for 20. Ben 10 #1, cover B, the Virgin.
There might be a Ben 10 green foil.
250 limited to 250. And we have this one for 25. Ben 10 number 1, cover C, the line art variant. Limited to only 150 that were printed. And we have this one for 30. Then Ben 10 cover D, line art virgin variant. Limited to only 100 copies printed. And we have this one for 35.
I would absolutely want one of these if I'm a Ben 10 fan. If there's 100, I want one. I don't want a second printing. Well, I would buy a second printing, am I kidding? But I would want the first printing, and I'd want it to be like one of 100. These are great to buy because, first of all, if you're a Ben 10 fan, they're great to buy. Second of all, it's cool to be supporting a project by the EXP.
So it really helps us out. It supports the EXP.
It supports the EXP. I don't, plus it's, if you look at all the other Ben 10 covers, the approach the artist took here is different. And I love that, right? Because, you've got all the different covers and some of them are like super high energy and this and that or whatever. And there's monster variants. And what is it like? One of the big distributors has their own thing. Is it one of the places in New York has it? New York Comic Con, or somebody has their own version that's going to come up. One of the monsters. This is very different. I think this very much captures like Cartoon Network in the 90s. This is more of like a base DNA energy. Some of the things now are, some of the covers now, they're a little bit different.
All right. Then you can get all 4 in a bundle for $99.99.
Spend a bean, get the bundle.
Some really great sketch covers tonight, and I've lowered the price from $65 to $45. All right, first up we got Green Lantern number 25. Green Lantern cover sketch by Ian Wallace.
The minute this arrives at my house, we'll break out white out.
And we have 45. A&X with Giant Man cover sketch by Joe Coria, Joe Del Beato, and Mariano Nicieza. MSRP of $149.99, and we have this one for $45. New Gods number 1 with Orion versus Frankenstein cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. MSRP of $149.99, and we have this one for $45. Transformers number 1 with Optimus Prime cover sketch by Robbie Pelletier.
This is great.
MSRP of $149.99, and we have this one for $45.
We have a lot of really cool covers. This one might sort of be a, like Spotlight of the Night type cover. This is very cool.
All right. Then we have Civil War 2, number 1 with Black Bolt cover sketch by Tony Scott. MSRP of $149.99, and we have this one for $45. Then Project Superpowers, Fractured States, number 1 with Black Terror cover sketch by Will Torres and Jocanda Hernandez. MSRP of $149.99, and we have this one for $45 as well.
Mariano is searching to see if there are any green Project Superpowers blanks because they suggested doing the Green Long, which is a very, very cool character in Project Superpowers.
All right, DCKO Boss Battle number 1 with Homelander cover sketch by Will Torres and Jocanda Hernandez. MSRP of $149.99, and we have this one for $45 as well. All right, so last pass on these back issues. Let's see. Here we go. All right, so DC All-in-One Special number 1, 4th print. This for $5. Diablo Dawn of Hatred number 1, foil edition, foil variant rather, and we have this for $15. Fireborn number 1, giant size, that for $5.
Fireborn is a really, really fun comic. If you didn't get a chance to check it out, definitely check it out. Even if you've not read Lost Fantasy, because it is part of the world of Lost Fantasy, this works on its own. Great artwork, very dynamic.
Okay, Tony Millionaires, The Oddballs Odyssey, number 1. And have this for $8. Nailbiter, Hack Slash, One Shot. Had that for $5. Alpha and Omega, number 2. Had that for 5. All New Wolverine Annual #1. Have that for 5. Batman and Robin #21. Have that for 5. What if Goofy became Spider-Man #1, Scotty Young variant? Have that for 5.
I enjoy these way more than I should. It's just like the other like Marvel Infinity comics on Marvel Unlimited. I don't think I'm their target market, but I enjoy those quite a bit.
So now we have $2 comics. If you buy 2 of them, I'll throw in the 2 for $3. All right, so discount. So here we go. Harley Quinn #26, $2. Harley Quinn #27, have this for $2. Legendary Star-Lord #5, have that for 2. Mockingbird #1, have that for $2. Rise of Powers of X #3, have that for $2. Rise of the Powers of X #4, have that for $2.
It's a great way to fill in some of those issues you missed. That I mean, $2. It's. Do we have to take another break? Is 7:15 the break again?
7:30.
Okay.
All right. So
either we remember the break and it's not time, or it's just like, boss, we should have had a break a half hour ago. Sorry, man.
So Invincible Returns #1. It is the blank. That for 6.
Now, see, this is a perfect book to buy, and then head over to Artist Alley to Con and have them put Viltrumite Mark on there. My favorite one.
Then DCKO Boss Battle #1. It's the blank. And that for 6. New Avengers #1. It's the blank. And that for 4. All right. The run of Absolute Batman. Absolute Batman #20 by Chris Anko. And that for 6. Absolute Batman #20 by Jody Lindsay. And that for 6.
Is this Absolute Rob?
Yeah, the Absolute Robins are fully debuted here in issue 20. They debut at the end of 19 and then fully on here in 20. There's 5 of them. Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, Duke Thomas, and Stephanie Brown.
I like this. Although I got to tell you what I really want to say. With the kind of all the Batman Beyond stuff seeming to be pushed out again, maybe it's time for a new Robin Beyond. I love the whole Beyond thing. I loved when we had Superman Beyond. I would be very happy to see Robin.
Give the publisher a call.
No, it doesn't work. It only works here.
All right.
Nobody cares.
Absolute Batman #20 by Ricky Yagawa and Alex Sinclair. Have that for 6. All right. Then Absolute Batman #20 by Javier Rodriguez. Have that for 6.
I did see an interesting thing pop up on my feed connected to Absolute Batman.
What's that?
I don't think they were trying to take anything away from the creators of Absolute Batman, but the article kind of talked about it's got to be at least 20 years ago. I'm sure somebody would probably know better than I would. DC did a thing called Just Imagine by Stan Lee. And it was imagine if Stan Lee had created Superman, Batman, etc. And apparently, I didn't remember this, his version of Batman is almost like a little bit of a precursor to Absolute Batman.
Right.
He's not super wealthy Bruce Wayne or whatever.
All right.
And I'm seeing this pop up a little bit.
Which one was that one? Becky.
I think she's claiming this book that's right up here.
This one? By Javier Rodriguez?
Yeah, Absolute Batman 20. Yeah, I mean, Stan Lee's DC takes were pretty cool. I particularly like Superman just because...
Just confirm with me, Becky. That's the one you want. The one that's on screen now.
Yeah, TJ, I saw that too, and I just thought it was interesting. the Stan Lee stuff, I thought the Stan Lee stuff was interesting. To me, it's whenever I see different takes on classic DC characters, to me, it's all Elseworlds. It's all just sort of, enjoy whatever you like, man.
Which one, Becky?
Probably the Lindsay one.
This one? The Lindsay one?
My favorite part about the Just Imagine was the amazing, talented artists that he worked with. He worked with like John Buscema. He worked with Joe Kubert, right? Like he did some of the best of the best. Adam Hughes, Jim Lee.
They did stand right with those books. He got the creators he wanted.
I still have all my issues, man. I've always held on to those.
All right.
Because the art's insanely cool in those.
Absolute Batman number 20 by Nick Robles. Had that one for 6.
See, this one's Jason Todd. They all are numbered.
You're good.
They're all numbered,
What? Oh, very cool.
All right. Then we have Absolute Batman number 20 by Kyung Yoon.
I guess we're not getting Absolute Red Hood.
Who knows?
Also,
Eventually,
this one's for 6.
they also all. So this one's Dick Grayson. They all pilot mechs too. Some smaller ones are just on vehicles, I think. But then there's like these big mechs. Like that's Dick Grayson pilots this giant mech. It's
like Batron instead of Voltron, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna get Henry Cavill as Ultimate Batman.
But they're actually pitted against Batman. They're actually working for the Absolute Joker's company or whatever. This book is really interesting and very cool lately, especially.
I keep trying to connect with these. The only one that really got me, like I need this as a weekly, is Absolute Martian Manhunter. That book was just trippy in all the right ways. No, but I you know what? I think Batman is overhyped as a character.
So you're prejudiced against Batman.
But I'm very much a fan of Batman, the animated adventure.
Right.
I tend to like Batman in that sort of I don't think genre is the right word, but portrayed in that way, that sort of energy where, the big Batmobile and, sort of the retro futuristic Gotham or whatever. It's
very Art Deco. That's the best.
Thank you.
I think that's the best interpretation of Batman across every single bit of media.
Matt Wagner, when he decided, hey, let me take a swing at this. That was some, that was very good stuff. The truth is, though, every person I know who's in comics, either as a hobby or as a side hustle, or like Robbie, who actually, runs a store, everyone says the same thing. Absolute books, particularly Absolute Batman, fly out of the store. It's just they come in, there's a whoosh of wind, shelves empty.
All right. Absolute Batman number 20 by Fabrizio Di Tommaso.
Oh, Johnny Sacco reference. Wow, Eddie, that's a deep cut. Johnny Sacco and his flying robot.
I used to love that show.
I love
this
that
for
show.
6 as well.
I wonder if the publishers look to see who has the rights.
You can ask them.
I am going to ask him when we go to break now.
All right. So then Thundercats number 2, FOC bonus, cover X, signed by Declan Shalvey.
Nice.
Dynamite.com exclusive. MSRP of $24.99. We have for 12. I'm going to do this one for 10 tonight.
$10.
Nice.
Somebody should take this because
Declan's got a very nice signature too. Look at that. He's got like a Walt Disney D type thing going.
Oh yeah, he really does. I didn't notice that right away.
I did miss it, Tate.
Jay's tired of picking up our slack.
I think they meant Becky, but we got that young Batman.
Oh yeah, we got her, Tate. Sorry, Backyard. I was like, who's that? All right. Then we have Cul-de-sac number 1, Ultra Limited Curse Mirror variant, signed by Tony Fleeks. MSRP of $66.60. We had it 30. I'll do this one for 25 tonight. All right. Then Dark Regards number 1, signed by Dave Hill. MSRP of $49.99. We had it at $6.66. I'm going to do this for an even 5 tonight, just for the heck of it. Sign book, $5, guys. I think that's less than cover. Space Ghost number 1, signed by David Pose. MSRP of $69.99. We added 25. I'll do this one for 22 tonight only.
This is a great one. Alex Ross cover signed by the creator who's just revitalized Space Ghost to the population. I had a great conversation with him on my channel on Friday. Go check it out if you haven't.
Yeah, I saw that. All right. New Dynamite books of the week.
This guy does two of my favorite things right now.
What?
He does Space Ghost and he does Speed Racer. And he does them both very well. He consistently does them like at a high level very well. You know what I mean? I think that's sort of one of those things to not sort of, like let slide. It's not easy to be, doing generally when people are doing multiple titles. At least in my experience, some are better, some are worse. There's like a, back and forth and up and down type to it. Space Ghost and Speed Racer are two of the best books out there right now, like by far.
Marcus, 5 is not demonic enough. Yeah, but the math works. All right, so coming out on Wednesday, Mumra, the Ever Living, number 2, cover A by Danny Earls. Then we have cover B by Declan Shalvey.
Declan Shalvey also writing this book. I got my copy right here. I've already read it. Love it. Continuing the untold origin of Mumra. I love Thundercats. I love Mumra. This book's awesome right now.
All right. Then cover C by John Amore.
This is a great cover. It's a low-key, really good cover, man.
All right. Cover D by Erica Durso. Or Durso, rather. Sorry. Then cover E, the animation art variant. Cover F, the 1:10 ratio animation art virgin. Alberto. All right, cover G, the 1:15 ratio, John Amore virgin. Then cover H, the 1:15 ratio, Erica Durso virgin. Then cover I, the 1:20 ratio, Declan Shalvey virgin. Then cover J, the 1:25 ratio, Danny Earls version. And then cover K, the Declan Shalvey black and white.
I'll tell you what Mumra number 1 reminded me of.
What?
And this is kind of going back a ways. But when Dynamite published Ming the Merciless, and it reminded me of, okay, now let's see the other side of the story. Let's see how this all started.
Right.
And it's so cool because it's both familiar and completely different at the same time. That's not an easy trick to pull off. I would say that this is a book where it might possibly be overlooked a little bit for other flashier things like Thundercats, Thunderhawks, whatever. But the story here, from what I've read so far, this is something people should be reading if they're Thundercats fans.
All right. So then cover L, the 1:7 ratio, Declan Shalvey black and white virgin. All right. So the movie tonight is Hero by Dong Imo. It won some awards, didn't it, this movie, I thought?
It might have. I actually don't know. I'll look it up real quick. And I know you're not a big fan of Quentin Tarantino, but one thing you got to credit him for is bringing this film into the States. He was very adamant about bringing this in, and he's pretty much the reason why it happened. Also because, Crouching Tiger was kind of a hit, and they were looking for these things. So we kind of leveraged that in. So we didn't come out in the States for 2 years, I believe?
I think it's 2 years later.
Yeah.
Tarantino is the reason another generation of Asian cinema fans existed, because in our age, there were those people going to flea markets and old tape shows or whatever, trying to get 9th generation copies of stuff. Kill Bill came out.
Yeah.
And Quentin Tarantino was telling people in all these interviews, he's naming movies, he's naming actors, he's naming, you don't know who Gordon Liu is? You're going to be ashamed of yourself. And it made a whole new generation of people sort of discover this. It was sort of tail end of, I don't really think even when Kill Bill came out, I don't think anybody was really down with VHS very much anymore. It was all DVDs. And now you've got people who are, you know what I mean? I don't know if we would have as many Asian cinema aficionados as we do without Quentin Tarantino sort of going out there and saying, look, let me tell you what influenced Kill Bill a little bit.
Unknown. Go ahead and send me an email. Probably have some. If you're looking for something specific, I'll have to look. I'm not sure. But send me an email. What's that?
So looking at the Academy Awards, it was nominated for Best Foreign Film, but it did not win. And it was nominated for a slew of the Hong Kong Film Awards, and it won mostly stuff like cinematography, art direction, costumes, action choreography, film score, sound design, visual effects. It was also nominated for Best Screenplay, Film, and Director and Actress, Supporting Actress, and all that. Did not win those, however.
Got you. All right, so we got to take our last and final break. So we're going to do that, and we'll be right back. And we'll get through the rest of the Dynamite books that are coming out on Wednesday.
So, the show is called The Geek Chat. And really, there's just a couple of geeks.
I'm Rich.
I'm Dez.
And we are your hosts for this weekly guide into comic bookery and all the geeky stuff that goes with it.
And that pretty much says it all. They talk about the latest movies and shows.
Okay, I'll be completely honest with you. Overall, D+ movie.
So the end. Did you know who that is?
That's She-Ra, yeah.
Yes.
The new #1 comics of the week.
We rep Samuel Jackson and we rep Mace Windu.
I passed on this. I was like...
No regrets.
No regrets. I really wanted to like this book. I really did. Like, I really did.
And just chat with each other. And with you.
Oh, Daniel says, I dosed off with the first one. I have zero interest in the Joker Harley ship, not Harley herself. Enjoy, not for me. Yeah, this movie's going to be rough for me to sit through, I'll be honest.
The Geek Chat, Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Just a couple of honest geeks.
Let's be honest. Come on.
And that is why people watch us, because we're honest.
Giving their honest opinions.
And the thing you always have to remember about the internet is everyone has an opinion, and they all suck.
Part of the experience.
What do you call the place on Spider-Man's wrists where the webs come out? His website. I hate myself for writing that joke, but you'd make me feel so much better if you just visited our website. We have links to our merch, new release lists, all the show info, and so much more. TheEXPLive.com. Did you know that Arthur, King of the Britons, in Monty Python and the Holy Grail was played by a famous Graham? Check out another famous Graham by following our Instagram.
All right, we are back. Oh, I had to turn the AC down, or up, rather. It's getting kind of cold in here. All right, so also out on Wednesday, Vampirella #2. cover A by Lucio Perillo. Then Vampirella number 2, cover B by Derek Chu. And then cover C by Joseph Michael Linzer. Oh, that's right. So Nick told me that we have to hit the thumbs up or I have to threaten a hunger strike. Right?
Well, you know I'm not doing it.
So hit thumbs up if you could, please.
My daily hunger strike is from like post lunch to pre dinner snacks.
All right, Vampirella number 2, cover D by Elias Chatzoudas.
Got my copy of Vampirella right here. Issue number 2, Christopher Priest. Another issue number 2 of Vampirella, but it's been really interesting trying to piece together his whole run. I haven't read every single issue of his run, so I'm still trying to piece it together, but issue number 2, things started becoming a little bit more clear for me and much more interesting, I would say.
There have been people that, probably one of the characters that people talk to me the most about is Vampirella online. And Priest's run has been, the storytelling style is a little bit different. He's trying to build something out laterally, and that's why when someone just chooses to jump on, they're kind of like, hold on a second. You know what I mean? Like, what am I at here? Because what he's trying to do is he's trying to, of course, tell his own story, but he realizes, and he said it in one of the interviews I watched, there's a massive amount of backstory here. You know, we have the Vampirella story. We have a ton of work done for Vampirella's past Draculon stories. And then we have the Vampirella, like, apocalypse stuff. So we kind of know, like, a little bit of the future of Vampirella. Right. So, you know, he's very, very masterful in sort of, he has what he wants to do, but he sort of also wants to, you know, touchstone a little bit with these other things. And I got to tell you, that, I mean, he's an excellent creator, but that's hard. That sounds like hard work for me.
All right, then cover E is a cosplay variant.
Some cosplayer that's been on 1 or 2 covers previously.
Cover G is the 1:10 ratio cosplay Virgin. Cover H, the 1:10 ratio Elias Chatzoudas Virgin. Cover I, the 1:15 ratio Joseph Michael Linzer Virgin. Cover J, the 1:15 ratio Derek Chu Virgin. Then cover K, the 1:20 ratio Lucio Perillo Virgin. Then cover L, the Lucio Perillo Ultraviolet variant. Cover M, the 1:7 ratio Chatzoudas Black and White.
This looks nice. This almost reminds me like a vintage pinup type thing.
Yeah, I see.
It is made very clear to me why there will be no armored Vampirella.
Why?
Well, one creator told me in my face, we won't sell books if she's in armor. I kind of wanted her in like armor from like that book, The Darkness.
Right.
And I was told that was probably not going to happen because people are expecting to see her in her traditional slingback. A creator changed her costume some years ago, and you know Nick still looks over his shoulder from all the anger from Vampirella fans, and to a certain extent, I was probably leading that pitchfork and flaming torch brigade. But
all right, cover N, the 1:10 ratio Perillo UV Virgin. And then finally, Vampirella number 2, cover O, the 1:10 ratio Linzer Black and White version. All right, so also out on Wednesday, we got Supernatural number 7, cover A by John Moore. Cover B by David Cousins. Cover C is a photo variant.
Soldier Boy? This makes no sense.
Cover D is another photo variant.
Soldier Boy and Marathon Man.
Cover E, photo Virgin variant.
Oh, Triple B, I agree 100%. I've actually, Rachel is not like opposed to that idea at all. I was talking to her probably when we had Sweetie last time, and I had said, this needs you as in like a cosplay cover. And she was like, just have Joe Tolan tell me.
All right. Cover F, the 110 ratio David Cousins Virgin. Then cover G, the 110 ratio David Cousins black and white. And then cover G is listed twice. I assume you caught that, Jay. Don't know what it is. All right. Cover H to 115 ratio. John Amore Virgin.
Is Castiel come out this week?
What's that?
Supernatural Castiel come out this week?
I don't know.
No, not this week. It was just on T, I believe, right?
Oh, that's probably where I saw it. Okay, never mind. Sorry, guys.
Cover I, the 120 ratio photo Virgin variant. Cover J, the John Amore black and white variant. Cover K, the 1:5 ratio John Amore black and white Virgin.
That almost looks like a Lovecraft graphic novel, this cover. I like that a lot. Triple B, you have like a secret compartment. I feel like he has like a secret like sliding wall, and it slides back, and it's all those covers that are not welcome in the house.
All right. Then also out on Wednesday, Thundar the Barbarian, number 4. Cover A by Michael Cho. Cover B by Francesco Mattina. Cover C by Bjorn Behrens. Cover D by Joseph Michael Lenzner. Cover F, the 110 ratio Michael Cho, black and white. Cover G, the 110 ratio Lenzner Virgin.
This Thundar book has been fantastic, y'all. I've been loving it. And dudes, check out what I got for my birthday. I got the animated series complete on Blu-ray.
Nice. I like to think this is the kind of book that, and I realize this put a lot of pressure on the creators, and I'm not trying to do that, but I would like to think this is the kind of book that like Kirby would have done if he did. You know what I mean? If he had done Thundar and had like a chance to sort of do its thing. I know people will say it would just be Commandy again, and I'm not even going to say you're wrong, but I think that this is a very Kirby-esque character.
All right. Then cover H, the 1:15 ratio Michael Cho, black and white Virgin. Cover I, the 120 ratio Bjorn Behrens Virgin. Then cover J, the 125 ratio Mattina Virgin. And then cover K, the 130 Michael Cho Virgin. And then cover L, the Lenzner black and white. Cover M, the 1/7 ratio Jack Kirby model sheet Virgin. Oh, that's nice. And then cover N, the 110 ratio Lenzner black and white Virgin. And then also out on Wednesday, Stitch number 7. Cover A by Edwin Galman. Cover B by Jay Lee. Cover C by Cyril Cangelosi. Cover D by George Campbell-Dyes.
Are you seeing this, Becky? Like Thunder the Barbarian?
A, C,
C, and M.
You got it, Becky. Becky wants A.
hopefully we're not too far away from Thunder the Barbarian in live action.
Talking to the wrong person.
No, I'm just saying. I think like HBO is looking for new series. I mean, that's sort of.
All right. Cover E, the 110 ratio J Lee, black and white. Cover F, the 110 ratio George Camadias, virgin. Cover G, the 110 ratio Ciro Cangelosi, virgin. Cover H, the 115 ratio J Lee, virgin. And then cover I, the 115 ratio Edwin Galman, virgin. And those are the Dynamite books coming out on Wednesday.
That's me.
Okay. All right, so let's do a recap real quick.
Oh, you know what? Real quick before you start that, I just want to throw this out there.
What's that?
For people who were Powerpuff Girls fans, we did Powerpuff here. They were fun books. The voice of the professor, Tom King, who sort of, I think that was his name. He's the voice. You don't realize how important the voice of the professor is with all the sort of kind of like the girls' voices or whatever. I understand that guy just passed away. I think it was yesterday.
Oh, no.
And they announced it today. So,
that's
just wanted to point out that guy was an important part of the show. You know what I mean? Because it's sort of like he grounds the show a little bit, right? And I think I watched a little bit of it. I watched some of the episodes when Dynamite started doing the comic. And it was just sort of, you know what I mean? Like, you don't realize, you don't appreciate it then, Back then, the Cartoon Network, mostly you were just sitting there hungover watching this stuff if you were old enough or you were a little kid.
All right, so the giveaway of the night is Batman number 51, signed by Tom King.
Yeah, thanks, Jay. He absolutely did that. He did a ton of stuff in the Star Wars universe.
Hashtag is EXP Monday, all lowercase. Dynamite 10-pack reader set, 10 random Dynamite titles, $3.99 cover price or higher, and as always, we have the 10 books for $5. DF mystery box, 2 CGC 9.8s or 2 metal covers, or one of each, up to you. 1 virgin, 1 signed, 1 exclusive, and 10 back issues. $200 retail value guaranteed, normally $85. I'm selling it for $75 tonight. Ben 10, number 1, the EXP exclusive cover. Cover A, limited to only 500. We have that for $20. Cover B, the Virgin, limited to only 250 copies printed. And I've got that for $25. Cover C, the line art variant, limited to only 150, and I've got that for $30. Then we have cover D, the line art virgin, only limited to 100, and we've got that for $35. Or get a bundle of all 4 books, and you can get that for $99.99. All right, sketch covers of the night.
I'm just thinking this would be nice. Like I said, you're dropping $100. You throw it you throw this in a frame, like all 4 covers in a frame.
Good idea. All right.
This will look real nice on the wall. Plus, it'll be. Let's be honest. Not every Ben 10 fan is going to have this. If Ben 10 is your thing, I would absolutely want something that not everybody has. I know there are certain Dynamite books I have that are people are like, I hate that you have that, but I know why you have that. And I'm like,
all right. So I can't believe no one's claimed a sketch cover at $45. All right. So here we go.
Yeah,
I lowered all the prices from $65 to $45 for the night on sketch covers. Green Lantern number 25 with Green Lantern cover sketch by Ian Wallace. MSRP of $149.99, and we have 45 tonight. A&X with Giant Man cover sketch by Joe Correa, Joe Delbiato, and Mariano Nicieza. MSRP of $149.99, and I have this one $45 as well.
I'm surprised this one hasn't sold, considering the average age of the people in the chat. You know what I mean? It seems to me this would really hit like a sort of, this would sort of push a button here.
So New Gods #1 with Orion versus Frankenstein, cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. MSRP $149.99, and I have this one $45.
Oh yeah, Alberto.
Transformers
This is
#1.
like the geriatric EXP show. I feel like Kyle was like, "Yeah, we need a show for old men." Okay, here it is. It'll be on Monday, but not too late.
Transformers #1 with Optimus Prime, cover sketch by Robbie Pelletier.
Jay, that's a variant cover for the Tick.
MSRP of $149.99, and we have this one $45. Civil War II #1 with Black Ball, cover sketch by Tony Scott. MSRP of $149.99, and we have this one $45 as
I'm a
well.
little surprised this one's here because this one's very, very cool. We don't have like a lot of Black Bolt stuff either.
So Project Superpowers, Fractured States #1 with Black Terror, cover sketch by Will Torres and Joconda Hernandez. MSRP of $149.99, and we have this one $45 as well. DC KO Boss Battle
People not
#1.
biting on these covers is, spoiler alert, this is how I wind up with Altered States at my house. And people are like, "How did you get that?" Well, you had a chance, but you were asleep.
With Homelander, cover sketch by Will Torres and Joconda Hernandez. MSRP of $149.99, and we have this one $45 as well. Then DC All In Special #1, 4th print, have that for $5.
The coconut Dr. Pepper improves with rum, Corey. Somebody brought some of it over to the house this week, and immediately I took a sip, and I'm like, coconut soda, Dr. Pepper.
All right, Diablo Dawn of Hatred #1, the foil variant, have that for $15.
Jay, you're not wrong. Jay, you're certainly not wrong.
Fireborn #1, giant size, have that for $5.
Robbie went out of his way to comment that, this is something that is a very cool book. This is something you want to be reading.
Tony Millionaires, The Oddballs Odyssey #1, have that for $8. Nailbiter Hack Slash One Shot, have that for $5. Alpha and Omega #2, have that for $5. All New Wolverine Annual #1, have that for $5. Batman and Robin #21, have that for $5. What If Goofy Became Spider-Man #1, Scotty Young variant, have that for $5. Harley Quinn #26, have that for $2. Harley Quinn #27, have that for $2. Legendary Star-Lord #5.
How old people are in this group, he's going to send you a check.
Sure, Alvaro. Why not? Have that for $2.
He wants to put a book on layaway.
Yeah. Mockingbird #1, have that for $2. Rise of the Powers of X #3, have that for $2. Rise of the Powers of X #4, have that for $2. If you buy any of the $2 books, if you buy 2, all right, you got it, Triple B. The 2 Harleys, and you'll get them for $3, buddy. All right.
Brex's Blue Light Special coming soon.
Blue Light Special, yeah, right. Invincible Returns #1, The Blank, got that for $6. DC KO Boss Battle #1, have that for $6.
Oh, the white Invincible cover, you could do like a color bleed, like Viltrumite Mark sketch, because their costume, their uniforms are white. That would be cool.
All right, New Avengers #1, Blank, had that for $4. Absolute Batman #20 by Chris Anka,
Nice,
for
Jay.
$6. Absolute Batman #20 by Ricky Yagawa and Alex Sinclair, had that for $6. Absolute Batman #20 by Javier Rodriguez, had that for $6. Absolute Batman #20 by Nick Robles, had that for $6. Absolute Batman #20 by Fabrizio Di Tommaso, have that for $6.
Then Thundercats number 2 FOC bonus, cover X, signed by Declan Shalvey. MSRP of $24.99. We had it 12. I lowered that to 10. Cul-de-sac number 1, ultra limited cursed mirror variant, signed by Tony Fleeks.
Quarters need to be taped onto a quarter sheet, Alberta.
MSRP of $66.60. Had it 30. I lowered that to 25.
Do they still have pennies? Didn't they do something where they don't have pennies
They
anymore?
don't make them anymore.
They stopped making them. Yeah.
Dark Regards number 1, signed by Dave Hill. MSRP of $49.99. It was $6.66. I lowered that to 5.
The point is $6.66 is for the thing, man.
Who cares? I just want to sell it. Space Ghost number 1, signed by David Propose. MSRP of $69.99. We had a 25. I lowered that to 22. And those are the books of the day.
I think everybody, Preston, has got a jar of pennies at the bottom of their truck console.
Yeah, it'll be a while.
Everybody who has a sock full of pennies just in case things go sideways in the back of his SUV.
So I have jars full. All right, so
we will keep them in rotation. All right, Jay has spoken, man. The copper experience.
All right, so at 9 p.m. Eastern, Robbie's movie night on PCP is Hero with Jet Li, Donnie Yen, Zhang Ziyi, Maggie Chung.
I'm glad to see this movie being because I think this is not even underrated. I think it's semi-forgotten. I really do. I think people sometimes...
It's been a while.
They think of Jet Li and they think of maybe...
So here's a trivia question. What other movie has Jet Li and Donnie Yen been in before this one?
Did I mention it earlier?
No.
I don't know. Which one?
Once Upon a Time in China. It was a Hong Kong.
Okay. That's what I was going to think, man. That was a good movie.
Yeah, he was the I think it was 1 or 2, I can't remember. But Donnie Yen was the sorry, Space Case.
I was wondering if Jet Li had made an appearance in the John Wick movie. John Wick is so many people in John Wick movies now.
It's kind of cheesy, the series of movies. But is about a loosely based on a historical character, Wang Fei-hong. So it's not bad. Jet Li's good, but Donnie Yen plays a government official, I believe. I think it was part 2, to be honest with you. Once Upon a Time in China 2.
Is he the government official that comes and beats the crap out of you when you do something wrong?
But it was probably the first time you see Donnie Yen and Jet Li facing off, so to speak.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's a good movie. All right, so that's my trivia of the night.
So maybe next week, instead of a show, we'll just stream that here.
There you go.
The cinema.
I don't think we have the rights.
Cinema experience.
All right, so let's do the giveaway. Jay, if you are ready. And let's see, spinning the wheel. The winner is...
Good luck, everybody. Steve Vendetta.
All right, so
make sure Rex
Jay,
has your information.
other than obviously Robbie's PCP movie night, what else we got coming on tonight?
Yeah, after you check out movie night, which is always a good time, and check out all the interviews Robbie had this past week. He had a couple of good ones. Other than David Propose, there was somebody else. Can't remember off the top of my head, but
Erica Schultz.
There you go. There you go. Come back to the EXP at 11 Eastern, 10 Central for Best Coast Comics. Not exactly sure, once again, what they're going to be talking about, but it is Bigby's birthday. So it might just be Braun, but it is Bigby's birthday. So come by, tell him happy birthday, and just tune in.
Sounds good. All right. So as always, appreciate you guys. Thank you, Robbie. Thank you, John. Thank you, Jay. And
I will see you guys Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Peace.
Have a good week, everybody.